Welcome back
to episode 8 of the Fuck Outta Here Sis podcast.
Yeah, welcome to episode 8.
We got a new interface.
We got a new interface.
Whatever
and so
that means.
It's the box that everything goes into. But if everything sounds better, that's why. Hopefully. Because it was like $500. All right. So, episode 8.
Yeah, so I'm just going to touch on this really quick because I just thought it was comical. Like, you ever, this happened to me last night where I'm trying to let the dogs outside, and because it's light in the kitchen, all the moths are coming in.
Oh my God.
And it's always like
I
this
hate
big
that
thing.
shit.
And like, I usually remember, shut off the light, make sure you don't let them in, but I forgot. So a moth came in and he was pretty big. And I was like, I gotta get this guy out of here. Like, and first I was trying to hit him, and I was like, don't do that. Like, we like animals, you know, we like bugs, right? So I'm trying to grab him, and he's trying to get away. I'm trying to like pinch him like this, and then I'm trying to get him like this because I don't want to mess his wings up. And at one point, I start yelling at him, going, "Don't you want to be saved? Don't you want to be saved?" And then I literally out loud was like, yo, dude, I feel like a Jehovah's Witness. Just please calm the hell down.
Dude.
And eventually I was like, now you die. And I didn't kill him. He got away.
Yeah.
So he's in here somewhere. He lives here now.
He owns the house. He has the deed.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, well, it's like I have this weird thing with bugs. Like as I get older, I have like this complex. Like, yeah, what if he has like a family and shit? And it's like, I'm vegan, so it's like I don't want to kill them, but like if it's like a scary looking spider, I'm kind of like, fuck him and his family, and I'm just like, kill.
Well, I don't know if they have the wherewithal to be like, I have a family back home.
No, but like, what if they're waiting for him?
You know what I think of? Like how I almost killed the moth. I was like, he's just existing. What if I was just floating around and somebody went...
Yeah, exactly. And there's a thing I have too where I'm like, what am I contributing to society? That this like ant that I'm about to crush, it like he's contributing to the great circle of life in some aspect, no matter how small. What the fuck am I doing that's more important than what he's doing? Probably nothing, if I'm gonna be honest. So it's like, I don't know, there's just like a weird thing with humans where they're like, I'm greater than this animal or this thing, or I deserve life more than this thing does. And I'm like, nah, I don't believe in that. Unless it's a spider that looks like it's gonna give me a hole in my body, then fuck you, you're dead.
Yeah, brown recluse.
Remember when the spider came in the house and I had a full breakdown because it ran under the fridge? It was huge.
She literally it was like a whole thing.
I was closing off the kitchen with like
pulled
laundry
out
baskets.
the fridge.
Pulled out the fridge.
It wasn't
started
there.
Frantically spraying bug spray.
And she's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm like, just go on with your day. I was like, you need to stop.
I'm like, we need to move.
I was like, you're like, you didn't see it. It was like 2 inches, bro. And I was like, I didn't.
In my defense, she didn't see it. It was fucking insane.
When we first moved in and the praying mantis was in here, that was terrifying.
Dude, and we were screaming so loud that the neighbor came by to see if something was wrong.
Well, the thing was, Mo was trying to abandon me. Let's get that straight. She was trying to leave. And I was like, because we couldn't find it for a second. And you're like, yeah, well, I'm going to go to my boyfriend's house. And I was like, how the fuck am I going to sleep with that? It's going to cut my jugular vein in the middle of the night. Like,
Dude.
They're creepy looking. And so anyway, we're going to leave, and then he goes in the front room, and we start screaming. We shut all the doors, and we're trying to catch it, but we're screaming our heads off.
Even though they're harmless, we're scared to death. It's the size of the bug for me. It doesn't matter what it does.
So then our neighbor pops up like some kind of horror movie. While we're screaming, he pops up smiling ear to ear. Hey, neighbor. And I was like... Anyway, got the praying mantis out.
That was like when we first moved in too, so he's probably like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Yeah,
like, it's a bug. Can you relax?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that did happen.
We got to bring up Diddy because we literally missed the week of the verdict. So now we're here.
And we keep and we were talking about it before, being like, it's not that big a deal, okay? So now we have to like talk about it.
Yeah.
No, we didn't say it wasn't a big a deal. We just said it was a witch hunt and that it was the government against Diddy, and he got away with it, basically. I mean, he didn't get away with it. He didn't get the RICO charge that we thought he shouldn't have got.
Yeah. And some people are like, they're just outraged and they're like, this is crazy. This is why women don't speak out. Like, it's ridiculous that he got off. And I'm like, if you watch the case, like, actually paid attention
It's
to
not
it.
the women against Diddy. If it were the women against Diddy, I would be cheering for them. It's the government against Diddy. Then the women that were subpoenaed were like, I don't want to fucking be here. They were trying to get him on a RICO and an enterprise charge on a technicality. And it was just like, come on, guys. Like, and they didn't do a good enough job, I guess. I think the jury saw through it. Like, they were like,
I think they were like, they're probably also thinking everyone does this, every celebrity, every politician, and we're literally going after this guy. They got him on the prostitution charges, which I think is fair.
yeah,
And
definitely.
like, can we get all the politicians on prostitution charges? Like, let's line them up.
Line them up and knock them down.
Let's get all the billionaires and put them in court.
Let's find the Epstein list that we lost and knock them all down.
Went missing.
No, it doesn't exist. It's not that it went missing. It was on somebody's desk and then it disappeared. No, it doesn't no longer exist.
Didn't
So
they
it
say
didn't
it
go
just
missing.
didn't exist? Or are they trying to say it never existed now?
There's never been a list. It's a myth. We've only talked about it for the last, 5 years or 4 years? It just doesn't exist. The government be wildin', bro.
Dude, the
But they
government will
lost.
do anything, and people think like they're like,
But-
the government. You think they would do that? Yes. Anything you ask me, do you think the government would do that? Yes, I do.
Yeah, they're a bunch of corrupt, rich, like, white fucking dudes. But, yeah, Diddy, they're like, oh, Diddy, like, the women lost the case. And I'm like, or this is why women don't speak up. And I'm like, it's not a domestic abuse case, period.
Yeah. And I was just talking about this too, was like, if it was, it wasn't, but if it was, and it was the women against Diddy and it was the domestic violence case, he still wouldn't get that much time. You don't get that. Not that it's right, but you just don't get that much time for abusing your significant other.
Yeah, we should maybe raise
They were
the
trying to
bar
put
on that
this
a little
man
bit.
away for life on a RICO charge. If you actually knew, like, and followed it, they were trying to put him away for RICO for sex trafficking and drug trafficking. They weren't going to put him away for life for beating his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That was never going to be a thing.
But this gets me on the subject of, like, people like to jump on a bandwagon and they have, like, this famed outrage over, like, a headline. Like, they never know the full story. They're just mad because everybody else is mad. And then they jump on the wagon of they're pissed. So with the Diddy thing, they're like, oh, this is against women. And it's not, it wasn't even the women against Diddy. It's the government against Diddy. So I'm like, if you actually, like, educated yourself and followed the case, you probably wouldn't have this outrage or, like, you be so mad about something that you don't fully understand, which seems to just be a theme in America. Or I don't know if it's anywhere else, but at least in America, I know it's a thing where it's like social media is so present that they read like a headline and don't even read the whole story. And they're like, well, fuck, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
So
like how they hate Katy Perry. Everyone hates
Yeah.
Katy Perry.
everybody hates Katy Perry.
But then I tried to ask at work, why do we hate Katy Perry? One girl like slipped in like, oh well, she like infiltrated like an old community or something and like forced them to move out, which I was like, what are the facts behind that? And isn't her boyfriend a piece of shit too? Like, I need to know the story.
Yeah. So
And then everyone else couldn't tell me anything except that she fake went to space and she's corny.
yeah, I went on Reddit to figure out why people hate Katy Perry, right? And I couldn't find, like, the majority of the comments. The top comments are, she's washed up. The last hit she had was in 2016. Everything she tries to do is cringe. Her new single was a flop. Kamala Harris didn't even want to use it. Like, she's basically like this, piece of shit celebrity that
She's
can't prove herself.
expendable.
Yeah, and then she does the space thing, which I agree is out of touch, but there were 5 other women with her. And, I'll touch on the argument again that, like, if we were offered to go to space and we were rich people, we'd probably be like, yeah, I get in the rocket. You know what I mean? So it's like, to, like, crucify someone for that is a little stupid, and nobody really knows why they're mad. Like, those are the reasons, right? So then I'm like, I'm going to look up, the thing that your coworker said about the old, like, elder people.
Yeah.
And I was like, this story is actually really fucking shitty. But it was Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry decided to buy a house from a guy who had like Huntington's disease in 2020. And he was not of sound mind, and they were trying to buy his mansion. And then, like, I guess after he agreed to selling it to them, he changed his mind, like, I guess, like, shortly after, and was like, I don't want to do that. I'm sick. I'm not of sound mind. And they were like, fuck you, and got in a legal battle with him from 2021 to 2023. And he was sued for $6 million. And they won for back pay on the mortgage of the house. Like, for, like, I guess, like, I don't know. I don't fully understand, but they sued him for $6 million. And the family was like, why are, like, rich people suing a small, like, veteran that, like, literally is, like, mentally declining? And as, like, apparently as he mentally declined more, they were, like, harder on trying to get the house. And I was like, that's just fucking shitty rich people shit. And Orlando Bloom is in on it with her.
Yeah, because the people that I talked to, they're like, thank God Orlando Bloom got out. Like, you must have realized she's intolerable. And I'm like, well, they're probably both pieces of shit. Like, when they brought up the house thing, I was like, that's probably both of them. It has to be.
Yeah. And when I read about it, I guess he released a statement that was like their behavior was unacceptable together. Like, he said something about it, I think. I forget. I don't know if it was him or if it was like a representative of them. So I'm like, I don't
so
like.
They
I think that's
apologized,
stupid.
but kept the house and kept the $6
Yeah.
million.
So I'm just like, that's just rich people being fucking shitty and being entitled as fuck. And yeah, they should be canceled for that, but they should be canceled together. And we shouldn't like applaud like a marriage falling apart and being like, well, fuck her, when he's also being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So strange. So I read deeper and I was like, okay, I understand why people dislike her, but that's not why people dislike her.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So it's fucking wild. But anyway, speaking of mental decline, I was on TikTok and
I get a mental decline every time I log into TikTok.
Has anybody seen the Jojo Siwa, like Betty Davis eyes cover?
God.
First off, who is Jojo Siwa? You know what I mean? Like, what is she doing?
Jojo Siwa. I didn't know who she was either, but I think she was like on teen dance, like the dance
kids, dance
moms things. Yeah, she was on that.
Yeah.
I think, and then
I knew that
she
she
went
was
off the
on
rails.
that.
It was like that she was young, and then she went off the rails and started being like overtly sexual and crazy, and people were like, "Oh, she's nuts." So it was like people started tuning in because it's like rage bait kind of. Like she's just doing shit to get people talking.
I'm trying to figure out if it's like a bit. Like I'm like, is she doing this on purpose? Is she
like
just like
purposefully making us uncomfortable? So it's like a
dude,
car accident. Like you can't look away.
She's like the embodiment of cringe. Like every
You
single
want to talk about Katy Perry being cringe?
Yeah, the embodiment of cringe. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a ploy because like no matter what you're getting press, but I feel like this girl, I don't know what she is. Like I don't know if she's a singer, I don't know if she's a dancer, I don't know if she's just like a influencer, but she just randomly shows up, does some crazy ass cringy ass shit where I'm just like, oh my God. And then she disappears for a while and then does it again, and I have the same weird reaction where I'm just like, I don't feel good in my body seeing this.
Dude.
And then she disappears again and then does it again, and then this is just the latest thing where she's like singing Betty Davis's eyes, like looking away from the camera with like the craziest amount of autotune.
That's what did it for me because first of all, she's got like the vocal fry, like some kind of Rod Stewart vibe going.
Well, we pulled up the original because Tree apparently never heard the song, which I thought was crazy, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Rod Stewart sings this.
It's not. It's a woman.
It's a woman that sings exactly like Rod Stewart.
Yeah, so when you played it, the original version, I was like, yeah, I guess. When she was singing, it was unrecognizable. It was like I said, like it just like had vocal fry and auto-tune, and I've never heard anything quite like it. Like,
and also like the thing with Jojo Siwa is like I thought she was a lesbian, and then like because she's wearing like crazy like, I don't want to say masculine outfits because I don't want to go there. I want to say that she looks like she shops at the Gap. But like the kids section with like the clothes that have like the glitter where you swipe it, it's like a different color.
Like the sequins?
Like
those
like-
pillows?
But she didn't wear clothes like a normal, like, representing feminine woman does. And then she was a lesbian, and then she was like, went on Big Brother, and now she's like dating a guy. And
Yeah, well, you know, celebrities do that.
yeah, they just be doing that all the time.
They're like, I'm gay. Well, that was last week. Now I have a boyfriend.
Like Billie Eilish, I was shook. I was like, I thought she come out lesbian, but I don't know. Maybe she came out bi. I have no idea. But yeah, I wasn't really saying, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I guess you just change your mind randomly. But it was just more about like she went from those crazy outfits with her hair slit back to like Marilyn Monroe curls and wearing like this like Judy Garland-esque getup from Wizard of Oz. Like a Somewhere Over the Rainbow crop top mashup.
Yeah,
So it's just like, it was, I don't know. It just seemed a little like way off brand, but like still on brand in the fact that it was cringe as fuck.
Yeah. It was wild.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok of a girl saying it put her in a bad trip. And I'm like, I understand. Completely. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But yeah, I was watching a movie called Little Miss Sunshine, and this kind of relates to Jojo Siwa because she was in Dance Moms. And in this Little Miss Sunshine movie, it's about like a family that's like taking a girl to like a pageant, I guess. And I realized that like I'm not down with pageantry, period. I just think it's weird.
Yeah, it is odd.
Like, because I guess it's just like full grown adults, parents, dressing up their little girls in makeup, wigs, and bikinis. And like watching them, like, I don't know, walk around stage and like, it's just odd. Like, I don't know. And in the movie, they like, it's like a joke, but they basically make the little girl do like a strip tease because like her dirty grandfather taught her like this dance. And she's like, I don't know, dancing a Super Freak by MC Hammer and smacking her ass and like taking off articles of clothing. And I was like, I can't laugh at this because I draw the line when it gets a little like pedo-esque.
Dude. But like, remember the whole like John Bonet thing, like that murder documentary? And then they were like, oh, well, there were random guys who would show up to like the pageants and watch the little
I wonder
girls.
if maybe there's
And I'm
rules now, but
yeah, I'm like, have they put something in place to like weed them out? Like, how do they monitor who's coming and going from these events?
yeah. I mean, either way, I still don't love it. Like, I don't think it's normal.
Also, you have to like watch out for the people that are like, I want to be a photographer for these kind of events. I want to video these kind of events.
yeah.
I would be like, y'all got to be vetted.
Yeah,
The
but
whole thing's
the
just
whole thing
strange.
is too strange for me. Like, I think I'm just anti-it because also, like, take away everything else, take away the makeup, take away the bikinis, and you're just like basically the little girls are stripped down to who's the prettiest and who's the most talented. It's toxic as fuck. So no wonder like a person like Jojo Siwa is running around being like, probably used to being like cheered for her whole childhood and being in front of an audience. No wonder she's just randomly doing the cringy ass shit to get attention because she probably misses getting attention. So it's like, you're not like, even we have a study right there that shows it's not great for kids because now we have an adult that grew up in it and you're like, what is she doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
doing a lot.
Maybe some people are fans of it. I just know that it's a hard pass for me.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's growing up being like, maybe she didn't feel like she was the prettiest or the most talented, so now she has to be the most cringe in order to get where she needs to go because cringe works now.
She's got to really commit to the bit, I guess.
Cringe works. It works on TikTok at least. I've seen it. Seen it in real time. If I could commit to the cringe, I'd be famous, I'm sure, but
I think that's my problem. I can't commit to the cringe.
I've seen people who can do it, and I'm in all of them, but I'm a little like, I get secondhand cringe. Like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, I know I could never do that because I'm crawling out of my skin watching you do it.
Yeah, but if I'm crawling out of my skin watching something, then it's not usually like I'm not receiving it well either. Where it's like if you watch a comedian that's a really, really good comedian, and they are committing to the bit, but you're laughing, they're doing a good job. If I'm feeling cringe for them, they're doing a bad job.
Yeah, but I'm saying cringe sells.
Yeah, like
You
those
know?
videos where they're like, I can't even do it. I'm not. I can't even get my.
We're not even gonna attempt. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah, it's too much. I'm gonna give myself the ick if I do it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, maybe there's just something to be said for that.
I mean, like, yeah, the pageantry thing is weird. It's kind of, but it is. Don't people do that because they're like kind of like trying to get their kid into that scene, like maybe modeling or something when they grow up or something? Like, I'm confused as to where that. Like,
Yeah.
why that of all the things you could choose? Like, you could choose a sport, you could choose like an instrument. Like, why did they go pageantry? Like,
I think
what
there's
is-
like a thing with that. I think it's like maybe moms that wanted to do that think that they wanted to do that as children are like, well, I couldn't do it and my kid's pretty and I see myself in them. So I'm gonna live vicariously through them. Or maybe they want to prance them around and make money off their kid. It might come from a fucked up place. I don't know. Or maybe their kid really wants to do it. Because in that movie, it was like the daughter's dream to do it because she watched like pageants growing up and was like, I want to do that. But granted, she was watching older women do pageants, like adults. It wasn't like little kid pageants.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just disagree with the pageantry. I think it's toxic.
Even in adulthood, would you say you don't agree with it? Like, you know, like Miss
Well,
America.
at that point,
and
you can
shit.
decide to inflict that on yourself if you want to do that. It's just like being a sex worker. Like, I would never be a sex worker because I know I can't mentally handle that, but you're an adult choosing to be a sex worker. You know?
Yeah.
I think if you're a kid, it's like you're not
they're
really...
enrolling you. You're like, I can't subscribe
I don't
to
know.
it.
Maybe if like my kid really wanted to do it, but I don't think I would even subject them to it enough to want to do it.
They would never see it.
They would never see it.
He'd be
'cause they
like,
won't
wow,
be
that
bored.
looks cool.
Wow, that looks cool. No, it's creepy as fuck. Don't do it. But yeah, I just don't think it would be around. But I don't know. I'm not a parent once again.
You know, there was something that happened at work this week that I should address, but I got to be careful about how I word this. But we were like pulled into the office because there's some girls that are like closer than others, I guess, so to speak. Like some are friends and some are
Yeah.
not. And then it's like
It's like a
you know,
conflict of
there's
interest.
girls.
It's
They're just
cliquey.
literally working with girls. This is what happens. I think this is what happens in every workplace, but it's just different because we're all women.
Yeah.
But like some of them are really close friends, and I guess they were talking about going out and hanging out. And then the other girls were like, they're not hanging out with us. And then it became a thing like where we were all pulled into the office. Every single person was pulled into the office and was like, if you're going somewhere or hanging out with someone, you can't talk about it.
Yeah. I mean,
And I was like, hot take. I was like, what? This isn't kindergarten. This isn't like grade school where you had to give everyone a Valentine.
yeah,
like,
that's
if
what
you
I was
develop a
literally-
friendship
I
at
was
work,
literally gonna
It's
pull that
giving
analogy.
like participation trophy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't know. I'm not really close with my coworkers where I hang out with them all the time. But if I made a friend at work and wanted to hang out with them and then we talked about it, I feel like my boss can't tell me I can't talk about it.
Yeah, it only seems weird because like
We're grown women.
you're grown women, but the friends talking about it, does that person like that's hearing them and tells on them, it skews a little young, but it's also like, do you want to be friends with them if they're not inviting you on your own volition? Do you think do you want the participation trophy? Do you want the pity friendship invite because you're sad that they didn't invite you?
I don't know. I don't want to speculate what they want. I think they don't want to hear about the fact that they're not getting to hang out.
Maybe, but it's like if I want to be invited somewhere, I want to be invited authentically, not because they.
I mean,
feel like
I
they
hear
have to.
about the people going out and I don't get really upset. Once in a while, if I'm like, they said they were going to invite me and then they go out, I might be like, wow, guys, is it because I'm old? Like a joke.
Yeah, right.
But I don't really be like, oh my God, I have no friends.
But I am also the same person that invites literally every single person. Like,
Yeah,
if
that's
I
what
have
I
a
said. If
party,
we
I
have a
literally
banger,
have
we
invite
invite every coworker. That's what I said. I was like, because I said to them, like, the people that don't invite certain people or go out with certain people, I'm like, I can't relate because I don't hang out with any of y'all that like enough. Like, I'm not BFFs with any of y'all, but if I'm gonna throw an event, you're all invited. Like, I never be like, well, keep her home or
Yeah.
keep her home. Because I don't do that.
Yeah.
And maybe that is it because we're too nice and we give participation trophies?
It's because, Hero, can you please shut the fuck up? Where the hell is he? How's
upstairs.
That is crazy. Yeah,
It's the new interface. It's picking up everything.
the new interface is too good. Yeah, so the thing for me was like, I literally was going to tell you about, remember we had to give everyone a Valentine in school. And I was like, I think that's why we do that now as adults, because I'm afraid that I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings at my work because I didn't invite them. But it's like, it's just, you're tighter with some people than you are at like, but our bangers, literally we have strangers show up. So I'm like, I don't know, this person works in my building. Like at least I like interact with them almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Where we have random friends inviting friends of friends, and then this guy's like, I just heard about this banger through the grapevine. There's a random stranger coming in to murder
also,
us.
they're always a vibe. Like, even if you invite someone that maybe...
I said murder us, but it was a joke. Nobody ever did try to do
like, even
anything
if
weird.
you're like, oh, I'm not super tight with them, but I'm going to invite them anyway. My thing is always like, I want people to have a good time, and maybe you'll like break the cycle of it being weird with them. Like, maybe you can like have a good time and they can feel more comfortable.
But also, it's like our bangers, our parties are so big that it's like that person at work that I don't interact with might interact with somebody else that I work with, and they might be cool, and they might just be in the corner vibing. You know what I mean? Like, because we're always
everyone's
jumping from
gonna
click to
find
click.
somebody.
It's gonna be fun, okay?
Yeah. But it's just funny. I just like when I was pulled into the office, I was like, bro, because I don't hold back. I was like, let's not do that. I was like, I can't do that. I was like, if I'm going to go out with somebody or hang out with one of my coworkers, I'm going to talk about it because we're all coworkers and we talk about what we do.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not to throw shade and be like, well, you weren't invited, bitch.
Yeah. I watched Sinners, by the way.
Bro, thoughts?
So good. So
It
good. I
was,
rated
right?
it a 5 out of 5, which is rare for me.
I told you.
Dude, it was really good.
And all the haters.
Are
Kim.
people hating?
No, there's just some people that I think they want to have a hot take. Maybe they saw a TikTok or something. But I heard some things that I didn't agree with. I was like, I don't know. I think you missed the point of the movie.
I think some people get weirded out when there's music involved. Like, I think they're like, what is this, a musical? And they get, like, mad when I'm, like, kind of hyped. I'm like, vampires singing? This is cool as shit.
Yeah.
And, like, the music was really, really good. And I'm like, you know, if this guy doesn't make it into a Broadway musical, missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Because
and
it's
like
crazy.
Michael B. Jordan, like he's attractive. Like he's like, all right, yeah. But there's something about the accent, like the southern twang and the twin, that I'm like way hotter.
Oh, yeah.
There's two of
is
them?
way hotter.
No, like two of them
No, I'm
being
just
there
kidding.
and the accent.
I'm kidding.
I'm
But it
like,
was funny that they had different personalities. And you're like, you
Yeah.
want like one better than the other?
And then there's like one scene where I'm like, this is like softcore porn. It's getting hot and heavy. I gotta leave the theater for a second.
I was like, is this the True Grit girl? And it was. Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld. She did a good job though in that movie.
Yeah.
She did a good job.
Yeah, but it was good. It was a good movie. It was solid. I couldn't find like really anything wrong with it. I don't think I had a problem with anything. Because some guy was telling me that the dialogue was bad. He was like, if you're like, but he just came off the Brad Pitt like racing movie that I didn't watch, and he said it was almost like AI wrote the script.
The Brad Pitt movie was?
Yeah, he said it was bad. He's like, it's entertaining, but the dialogue is like, you can't get past the fact that it's...
And he said Sinners dialogue
And I
was
said,
bad?
what did you think of Sinners? My sister really wants me to watch it. And he said, similar as far as dialogue goes. He's like, but if you can look past it, that movie's very entertaining. And then I was like thinking about it while I was watching it. I was like, in maybe some circumstances, I was like, all right, the dialogue was a little shaky in that 1 second, or like it like, or one interaction. I was like, maybe if you were like really analyzing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get that vibe. Like, I was trying to look at it from like indifferently, but that guy put it in my brain. So I think if I weren't over analyzing it, I wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah, I didn't notice. There was a scene where like he's singing in the car with him. He's playing the guitar and he's singing.
Yeah.
That was like improvised. Like they were like, let's just do it. And there's like an extended version.
And
where
then
they-
Buddy Guy's in it. Cool as shit.
dude,
It was so cool.
so good. I want to watch it again. Now you got to watch Smile and Smile 2 and let me know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're 5 stars, but they're pretty good. I like them.
Yup. But yeah, I don't think anything else. Did anything else happen this week that was that crazy?
I mean, we were both spiraling for some unknown reason. I know it's because of my cycle. Like, I know that I was like on edge, and then you were also on edge, and we were both doing the thing.
Yeah.
I also came back from DC, and I was like literally drinking and on an edible for 3 days straight. So I think that could have been
just like outside.
That could have been a
stress.
serotonin.
Just like outside stress,
Killer.
serotonin. But I don't think it has to do with my cycle. I'm always like this.
I'm always mentally unstable.
I woke up like this, mentally unstable. But yeah, I don't know of anything.
We went to the store and we're both wearing Gaga shirts. We were wearing matching Gaga shirts. So I was like, it looks like we're going to like a Gaga concert.
Or we just came back.
We just
from
came
one.
back from one, and like we're walking into the store and we have like this one woman that rings us out at Wegmans.
Yeah, our cashier.
Paula. Shout out to Paula.
Love her.
She's a G. She goes, "What the hell is with the shirts, ladies?" And I'm like, someone had to say something. Like,
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Matching shirts, twins. She's like, are you guys okay? Everything okay at home?
I'm like, it's just Lady Gaga, bro. I don't know. We just put on the same shirt today.
Yeah. But yeah, twinning, I guess.
Pretty uneventful.
Pretty uneventful, other than the old man screaming in my face earlier in the week.
Oh yeah.
And like
Mo had a hostile one.
I had a hostile old man, and I don't even know why. Like, I just went up to go help him, and I was like, do you need help, sir? And he was like, yeah, I need this. And I handed him what he needed, and I was like, is this it? And he's like, is it what I asked for? And I was like, I don't know. And I kind of like walked away for a second because I was like, I mean, that's what you said. And then like walked back, and he's like, so is that what you asked for? And he's just like, yo, no. And I would have told you if you didn't just fucking walk away from me. And I was just like, dude, you're ready to fight, and I'm not doing that today. And he was like, okay, well, I need this or something. And I was like, and he was mad. Like, he's like, I need this. This is what I need. And I was like, it's fine. And he was like, no, it's not. And I'm like grabbing the thing that he needs. And he's like, put the fucking thing back. And I was like, you know what? I'm not interacting with you any further. But that seemed to be a theme at work. So maybe that might have been contributing to the down spiral. Because all the people I was interacting with were abysmal. And I was like, they just hate me for existing.
Yeah.
I'm insecure enough. I don't need that shit.
Right? Oh, speaking of insecure, we were also we had remember the whole Britney meth thing, allegedly. We said she was on meth, allegedly. And we had a whole hate thing going on where a guy made a video and people were piggybacking off. Yeah, we were coming from a concerned place, but people don't know us, thought we were being haters. And we hate Britney, and the Britney army was against us. And there was one comment that we use on a regular basis now, because the one comment said something like, these two should be talking. They're not very easy to look at. And every time
that easy to look at is a crazy insult, because sometimes I'll just be in a bad mood and look in the mirror and be like, I'm not that easy to look at.
Yeah, now we say it on a regular. I'll be like, listen, I gotta make sure I do my makeup. Last week, I was gonna the last time we did the podcast 2 weeks ago, I was gonna get my eyebrows laminated, and I was like, I can't. I have to be able to wear makeup for the podcast, because if we make clips, they're gonna see me, and I'm gonna have no makeup. And I was like, I'm already not that easy to look at, and now I can't even put makeup on. I'm probably gonna have beet red eyebrows. It's gonna be intolerable for people.
Yeah, Tree went to Washington, D.C. She got her eyebrows done for Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and I got maimed at the zoo. I wore Doc Martens at the zoo, and they ripped my ankle open to the point where it looks like I've had ankle surgery.
Yeah, but her going to Washington, D.C. triggered a childhood memory for us. Right?
Oh, shit.
So, we forgot.
Because my friend's like, have you ever been to D.C.? Let's go. And I was like, yeah, I've never been. Let's go. So I book an Airbnb.
You said you never been. I'm like, yeah, we have.
Yeah, and then the repressed memory came out.
So we were raised super, super hardcore Catholic.
Super duper Catholic.
Catholic school until we were homeschooled. Catholic church. going to
Until
church
we
every
refused
Sunday.
to go to church. Didn't we still have to go every Sunday when we lived in the house?
Holy days of obligation. We had to go to adoration every Friday for an hour, even when we didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 to 11.
10 to 11. Remember, we do be doing this crazy shit where I'm reading the entire Old Testament, which I think maybe not Catholic, by the way, so going to adoration didn't help. But I read the entire Bible, but once in a while it would be empty, and it would just be me, you, and Kat. Like in adoration, cracking jokes, cracking them, and then somebody would walk in and we had to like keep our composure and act like we were praying. You know, sometimes we cracked though, where we're just
yeah, that was y'all. I was trying to like not laugh because I remember being like, remember the one lady told on us?
For Skip, we left church right after communion, which
No.
was like a 5-minute
Then
section.
the other lady told on us for laughing at adoration. She knew our mom or something. And I was like, I can't laugh anymore. So when y'all were dicking around, I had to do the thing where I start disassociating, trying to close my eyes because I'm about to laugh. And I'm like, I'm not entertaining this.
We're trying to be reverent before the Lord.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't keep it together. But like by that time, we didn't want to be in it.
This is the crazy part, right? So when I was in adoration and I would try not to laugh, I would try to think of Jesus being scourged. Like I would think of the Passion of the Christ movie and in vivid detail imagine whips going into his skin and nails going into his hands, like, and try to imagine the gory, horrific detail to make myself not laugh, and it would kind of work. And I noticed at work this one time, I like started laughing hysterically at this guy. He like gave his dog a haircut and it looked crazy and I couldn't stop laughing. You know, when you like can't control it. And I'm trying to get it under control. And the guy's staring at me like I'm nuts and I'm going, I'm sorry. And I keep laughing. And I just had like the ha-has, like I couldn't stop it. So I started trying to think of Jesus dying on the cross. Now, this is, mind you, way after the adoration, way after not going to church, not being Catholic at all. It was like an innate, just a thing in my brain that wouldn't think of Jesus dying on the cross. And because I did that, I started laughing even harder to the point where I'm like almost peeing myself. And you know when you laugh but nothing's coming out? And Margot's going, I got this. Like she just intercepted the check-in and was like, just go in the back.
Dude.
And I had to explain
do you understand?
to the girls what the hell the mental Olympics I just went through to try to stop laughing and made myself laugh even more.
But do you understand that by doing that, you were giving yourself OCD? Like, can we just dive into this a little bit more? That every time you had a bad thought or needed to stop
you start saying
laughing,
the Our Father and the Hail Mary?
Yeah, I would start praying.
I still do that sometimes.
No.
The Our Father thing. If something is giving me a lot of anxiety, I might start doing that. But I try to go to the fucking...
Yeah, you've engraved it in yourself so deep that you've given yourself
what
OCD.
Is it?
Congratulations.
The Flipper theme song.
I
go to that first.
Definitely normal.
Yeah, but my therapist said that's normal when you have anxiety to go to a song that you're familiar with and it pulls you out of it. So is it OCD or is it a therapeutic technique?
You just completely went on a tangent. We got to get back to where we were. So we were raised super Catholic. We went to adoration.
I had a whole nother tangent that I was going to go on.
We were in youth group and they were like, we're going to take a trip to Washington, D.C. to protest abortion. I mean, I don't even know how old we were. I want to say
12,
on average
13.
like 13 maybe. And our parents signed off and agreed to it. They weren't there, I don't think. Maybe our dad was there. I don't know. Somebody was there. But there were parents chaperones.
I don't think that our parents were able to make that one. Maybe if they did, it's not in my memory.
I would have never signed off on my child going to something like that. But anyway, I remember like as a kid, like us walking through with like our signs and our like picket fences or whatever the fuck we're doing, like or whatever we're doing, like rioting.
Stop killing babies. Stop killing babies. Some crazy ass bullshit.
Do not. So then I remember trying to cross the street and like a woman, like a blonde mom, like she had to be in her like maybe like late 40s or like maybe like early 40s, with like blonde hair and bangs, and she was going, "Fuck you, fuck you." and like screaming at us through her window. And I was thinking, like, as I think about this now, and even then I was like, I never want to be that woman. Like, I don't want to be screaming fuck you to kids, because we were kids.
Yeah.
And now that I think
And
of it,
I remember thinking, worst field trip ever. Because I remember the weather wasn't good either. I remember being like very like not comfortable with the entire situation.
I don't want to be the group that we were either. I don't want to be either person. I don't want to be the ladies screaming "fuck you" to a bunch of children. I don't want to be the children holding the signs. I don't want to like. It's like there's got to be a happy medium.
And at what point is that not okay to be like, these kids are going to go protest for us? Because they're like, the ratio of kids to adults was absurd.
Is that exploitation?
I don't know what that is, but I was asking my friend. I was like, would you ever send your kid to a protest? Like, let's say something I believe in, like Black Lives Matter. Would I ever send my kids there in a bus with a bunch of kids and be like, oh, I can't make it, kids, but you got to chaperone?
Here, I'm going to sign this waiver just in case anything happens to you. And you got an adult watching you, so you'll be fine.
What if a crazy, like, I don't know, white supremacist tries to hit them with their van? Like, we almost got hit with a van at the pro-life rally.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
know. She tried a little bit.
So I'm just kind of like, bro, no, you don't. Like, you sign yourself up for that. If you want to be, like, an activist, like, that's cool. Like, and then, do it. But don't sign your kids up for it.
Yeah, not a fan. And I remember it was the worst field trip ever because that happened. It was, the weather was shit. But then remember, they're like, you can go look at this church. And the church was really cool. Like, from like a visual what am I trying to say, architectural standpoint. But you remember we couldn't say anything. Like, we went in the church and they're like, shut the fuck up. When you're like, this church is so shut the fuck up. And they're like, be quiet, respect the Lord. And then we sat there and prayed for a few minutes and then left. And I was like, that wasn't even cool. That was just weird.
Yeah. When I was in DC, there were so many churches, and there was one where I was like, oh, this looks cool. And I looked at it, and it looked like our church. Remember St. Pete's? It looked like Father Anthony was ripping off that church a little bit, like the same kind of design. And I was like, I wouldn't go in here. It would give me PTSD. But it is cool from like an art and architectural standpoint.
Well,
but then when I was in the city and there were a bunch of nuns and priests walking around, I got a little uncomfortable, and I was like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, and there was like this thing, I watched a movie called like Your Friends and Neighbors that was like an Apple TV show with John Hamm, and there was like the Catholics were in an uproar because he eats the host in the church. Like, he gets drunk with his ex-wife. They sneak in the church. They find the host like in the sacristy, the place where you get ready.
Yeah.
And they're eating them like they're chips. And they're saying it's sacrilegious, and I was like, I don't know. If you were a real Catholic, you would know that the transubstantiation didn't take place, and he's not Jesus yet,
right?
They are crackers.
They're just crackers. They're just fucking crackers until you do.
And everyone's getting pissed, and I'm like, Mom used to buy those in a bag, and we would play mass and eat them like they were cookies.
Yeah, we would literally.
Because you know what it is? A fucking cookie.
It's an unleavened cracker. Mind you, they
Jesus.
taste like cardboard. If you
they didn't do the consecration yet.
Yeah, what's transubstantiation? Is that
That's
that's
Jesus.
That's Jesus. That dude.
What's with the hand motion?
Because it's like the same as when they teach you about the sperm, and you think it's like a little ghost going up there.
Yeah,
like it's like. Okay, I should not be comparing Jesus to a sperm, but you know what I'm saying.
The ghost of Jesus turning into the body.
This is the bread, and then Jesus goes into the bread.
Yeah. We're going to hell. But episode 8. I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Yikes.
Bye.